Let me introduce you to Smart DevOps, an Erasmus Plus project funded by the European Union. Cities around the world are growing smart with a lot of technologies, taking over old ways of moving, working, and living. Smart DevOps accepts the challenge by providing professionals of all ages with the training aimed at managing this transition. The project entails the delivery of a free online vocational training curriculum with 3 different specialization courses. After identification of professional needs, with an eye on best practices and training job positions, the partners have designed a very detailed and engaging course to boost career perspectives for smart cities planners, IT managers, and IT officers. The city of the future lies ahead, so register online for the Smart DevOps training now.
Hello everyone, and welcome to today's webinar on Smart DevOps MOOC. I am Angelika Kokinaki, Dean of the School of Business and Professor in Information Systems at the University of Nicosia, and I would like to thank the decentralized community for hosting this webinar today. The main focus of Smart DevOps MOOC that we are about to show to you is on developing competencies for smart city professionals. We have identified, though, interesting and emerging developments at the intersection of smart cities and distributed ledger technologies. In an upcoming EMCS paper co-authored with Dr. Ifigenia Georgiou, perhaps you have her as a lecturer, and Mr. Juan Geoffrey Nell, a colleague of yours, we have identified that the main 3 reasons why blockchains are considered in the context of smart cities are, any guesses? Yes, security, privacy, and trust. Another interesting finding is that consortium blockchains, hybrid blockchains, private blockchains, and public blockchains are all considered with respect to their suitability for smart city applications. So no matter what is your orientation, chances are something interesting is in this domain as well. Also, we have figured out many use cases that have been proposed in relation to smart cities and blockchain applications, including smart transportation, smart economy, smart security, smart government, smart healthcare, smart citizenship, and so on. All these use cases outline important links between the social, economic, and industry elements of smart cities. Also, going through the literature, it became clear that quite often studies tend to focus on smaller subsets of what one considers as a smart city. So, for example, a smart city is a conglomeration word for smart places. This may include smart campuses, smart suburban areas, smart hospitals, integrated casinos, smart malls, etc. However, we have found indications that the term can be extended in the other direction, so a smart city could in effect become a whole country. Taking all this under consideration, we were excited and we hope you are too, through this webinar, to get a sneak preview of how Smart DevOps MOOC might intersect with your own interests. For that, I give the floor to Mr. Boruk Singh from All Digital, who is going to be our facilitator for this event. Boruk, off to you.
Thank you, Professor Kokinaki. Welcome, everybody. Thank you for joining for this exciting MOOC. And a big thank you also to the University of Nicosia and the centralized community for hosting this event. I come from one of the 13 organizations that developed and now implement Smart DevOps project, which is an Erasmus Plus sector alliance that aims to define and develop the skills needed in emerging and very dynamic sector of smart cities. The project addresses the shortage of digital and transferable skills in municipalities, and it will support people working in the smart city sector in their professional development by training them to apply DevOps, an approach combining the development and operation phases. This will raise the quality of e-services, helping those cities to truly become IT sustainable while fulfilling their scope to connect, protect, and enhance the lives of their citizens via digital technology. How are we going to do this? By upskilling the municipality personnel, current and the future ones, with new IT skills and knowledge required for smart city management. One of the project's aim was to develop new job profiles that were already mentioned in the video. Those are Smart City Planner, Smart City IT Manager, and Smart City IT Officer. And to train them, we developed a VIT educational program that consists of MOOC that we will present today, specialized course, and work-based learning. Some general remarks about the MOOC, what it offers. It offers you a state-of-the-art curricula developed and delivered by experts under high standards of quality assurance. It offers you 15 modules that will help you develop transferable and digital skills for smart city professionals. It offers you flexible weekly workload and schedule. The MOOC begins on 19th of October and lasts until 11th of January. Altogether, the workload is estimated at 80 hours, approximately 5 hours per week. It also will give you personalized support by experienced lecturers. Some of them you will get to know in a few minutes. And it will also give you opportunity to meet, connect, and network with peers from all over Europe and beyond on the MOOC platform we developed. And last but not least, it will also give you, if you enlist and successfully complete the MOOC, certification in accordance with European and national qualification frameworks and European credit system for vocational education. Oops. Some noises around, but this happens digital all the time. I apologize for that. To summarize, what will you learn? New ways on how software is designed and delivered today and how this influence its development and deployment cycles. Overview of smart city ecosystem, including platforms, governance, business models, and financial management. And of course, about new technologies like cloud computing, Internet of Things, and data analytics. Before diving into the content, a few technical instructions. You can already post your questions to the chat or also post question on Twitter using the hashtag Smart DevOps hashtag. We'll catch you all, and the opportunity to debate with the lecturers and to ask questions will follow after the presentations. And it is my pleasure to introduce you 4 speakers today that will give you a sneak peek to the MOOC. Those are Dr. Decolu, Dr. Fitsilis, Professor Georgianis, and Dr. Kokinaki. And I apologize if I don't pronounce the names correctly. Greek is not my native language. I'm still learning, but with the help of my friends here from Cyprus and Greece, I'm improving quite a lot in the recent weeks. The first one to get the floor is Dr. Decolu, who is a lecturer at the Business School of the University of Nicosia, and she lectures on creativity and innovation, global marketing, and social entrepreneurship. She's also a part-time lecturer in marketing, media management, and cultural economics at the Cyprus University of Technology and at the Hellenic Open University. She has a PhD in organizational learning and knowledge management from Aristotle University of Thessaloniki, and she will give you an insight to creativity module. Dr. Decolu, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much for the introduction, Borut. Good afternoon from me as well. I'm Evi Decolu. I would like to welcome you to our DEVOPS community. I'm a lecturer at the marketing department of the University of Nicosia in Cyprus. And I hope that we're going to explore together the concept of business creativity and the critical significance of creativity for our business world. So, first of all, what is creativity? What is really creativity? Creativity is the act of turning new and imaginative ideas into reality. Creativity is the ability to perceive the world in new ways, in innovative ways. Creativity is the ability to find hidden patterns. And also creativity is the crucial ability of making connections between seemingly unrelated phenomena in order to generate solutions for problem solving. But what is creativity? Is creativity just a mindset? Is creativity an innate talent? Creativity is not exclusively for elite people. It can be developed in all individuals. Creativity is a personal problem-solving process of a non-routine kind, and it can be learned, practiced, and successfully applied by all, in every industry, in every walk of life. But is creativity only important for fine arts, as they say? Of course not. Creativity is not of vital importance only for the fine arts, because business creativity is actually a necessity stemming from the lack of creativity in problem solving in all business environments. And in order for contemporary organizations that actually operate in a highly competitive environment to develop innovative processes, to develop innovative products and services, in order to develop a strong competitive advantage, they have to create an internal environment that favors creativity. And why creativity is so important? Creativity is very important because it is actually related with both profitability and well-being of an organization. Creativity might be the basis for developing and maintaining a really strong, a sustainable competitive advantage. Because creativity, first of all, helps individuals in an organization dealing with changes that happen continuously in their operating environment. And also creativity could significantly help an organization to strengthen its market share. But also creativity is highly related with the well-being of an organization and, of course, the well-being of individuals that are a part of an organization. Creativity is very important for conflict resolution. Not all conflict is detrimental, but you need to cope with this conflict in the optimum way. And of course, creativity means variety. And we all know how important is variety for our everyday business life. So definitely creativity is the key to survival, adaptation, and of course, prosperity within an organization in any industry. So let's talk about the content of the module. First of all, in this module, we're going to identify the concept of creativity and also its more major components. And also, we're going to analyze the characteristics of a creative business environment. How can we make our business environment really creative? Is it easy? Is it difficult? We'll see. Also, we're going to describe the critical importance of creativity in business reality, in nowadays competitive business reality. Also, together, we're going to explain the concepts of innovation and entrepreneurship, and also the critical relationship among creativity, innovation, and entrepreneurship. Are these two the same? And how they are related if they are not the same? Also, we're going to distinguish the 5 different stages of the creative process, and we're going to describe in detail the different types of creativity. We're going to describe the creative engagement factors. What can we do to make our employees highly motivated to be creative? We're going to explain the 4 aspects of individual creativity and also the value of creativity for individuals. But also, we're going to analyze the characteristics of creative groups, because creativity is not only an individual issue, but it's an issue of a group. And how can we help a group being as creative as possible? Also, in our module, we're going to highlight the significance of a creative conflict. Can a conflict be positive? Can a conflict be creative? And how can we achieve this? Also, we're going to describe the barriers to creativity. Nowadays, working environment is not favoring creativity. Heavy workload, no strong motivation sometimes, and many other factors that hinder our employees to be as creative as they can. Also, we're going to explain together best practices in order to overcome these barriers to creativity, and at least if we cannot overcome them, best practices to minimize the negative impact of these factors. And finally, last but not least, we're going to describe strategies for promoting creativity. So at this point, I would like to thank you for your attention, and I hope that I have convinced you to come with me in this creative journey. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Decolou. I would like to introduce you the next speaker. It's Professor Dr. Fitsilis, who's a full professor at University of Thessaly, Greece, and a lecturer at Hellenic Open University. Professor Fitsilis has extensive project management experience in more than 50 research or commercial projects on development and deployment of large IT systems and extensive management experience in various senior management positions. During his work at Intrasoft International, he was responsible for the development, deployment, and operation of a number of prestigious IT systems for European Commission, European Parliament, European Central Bank, and so forth. He has published over 100 papers in scientific journals and at international conferences, and his research interests include project management, entrepreneurship and innovation, software engineering, business information system, and so on. I'm sure you can ask more about his interest if you join the MOOC and debate him there on the MOOC platform. But today he will present you the expert part. You know, I talked about the transversal skills and the expert skills. Professor Fitsilis will present you the DevOps basic concept module. And lastly, but not least important, I have to tell you that Professor Fitsilis is the coordinator of the project. So, Professor Fitsilis, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon to everybody. And I will give a short introduction before going to the specific module in order to justify the value of what we're doing. I'm the project manager of this DevOps project. I have the pleasure of being the project manager of this exciting project, where I'm very happy that I have this position. Because for many reasons. First of all, we are a consortium of 13 organizations, and we come from different countries. Our consortium has members in Germany, Italy, Greece, Cyprus, and of course we have All Digital, which is based at Brussels. So we are an international consortium and not only Greek. Secondly, I would like to say that this is Erasmus Plus project, so we're developing. What we do is what Baruch said just before. We try to create new job profiles. And why we come to this line of business, why we do so? We do so because we're working of smart cities, government, of these related areas for many, many years. And we come to the conclusion that the digital transformation is not only systems, it's as well about people. And these stakeholders can be either municipalities, officials, or it can be citizens. So we have to address as well their needs. And this is the reason that we said, okay, let's see what are the needs of the officials of the smart cities. And this is what we're trying to promote right now. Because a smart city is not a system, it's an ecosystem offering a variety of services to the citizens, and we have to deliver these services in various modes, and we need to answer to the needs of various stakeholders. And in order to do so, develop this ecosystem, we have to address a number of things, a number of challenges. Which are these challenges? This list is not exhaustive, but it's indicative. First of all, we have to digitally transform the cities. This is a big issue. Digital cities today are addressing all aspects of economic and social life. So we have to deal with complexity. And of course, we all know that today software is the king. Software, we're living the era of software-enabled society. We cannot do anything. And the software is not developed as it used to be. We have to develop software in a new fashion, using new methodologies. And DEVOPS comes to fill this gap. And recently, we realized something we didn't know at the beginning of the project, that we have to infuse as well people with skills related to the resilience of the cities. And this is something that we do not address, at least at the current moment. And of course, we have to train people in order to trust our lives, our way of living to their hands, to train people that will implement. This is the reason that we're working with all this. DEVOPS is an important part of this philosophy, is an important part of this curriculum. And why? Because smart cities are based on software, and the way software is working and the way software is operating. So we have selected one of the most modern methodologies, approaches to develop software, and this is DEVOPS. And what is DEVOPS? It is the practice of operation and development where engineers are grouped together as in one team and delivering a service from the beginning to the end. So from the initial idea to the final delivery of this service. And it's not only a life cycle, but it's as well a set of practices that we have to take into account, that we have to learn, and we have to do differently in order to achieve what? In order to reduce the time between the initial idea, between innovation that Mrs. De Kulu has spoken about, and to limit the time needed between the idea and the actual service delivery. So DEVOPS is a methodology that is focusing on this fundamental change, and this is a change that is required by the society. It is required by all of us. All of us, we are using smartphones, and one day we have version 1 of our favorite application, let's say Messenger or Facebook or Instagram, and the next day we have the latest version, because the software is delivered and it is installed automatically for us. So from one side, we have the inventors that are developing new software, that are developing new ideas, that are innovating. And from the other side, we have the people that are delivering these services, that are focusing what they want. They want stability, to offer this service on a daily basis, the same way as it was yesterday, and having all the customers, all the citizens satisfied, and no one to be complaining. So this is a fundamental change, not only at the level of software, but as well at the level of our society. And DEVOPS exactly is trying to bring, to implement this mega trend, as I call it, to do what? To bring together the inventors and the delivery teams, to bring together these different philosophies into one unique team that is working together, and is working together with customers to get the requirements, to deliver the changes, to create new features on the product developing, on the city services we're developing, and from the other side to have a stable service that we can rely on, because our specific service. And this is a typical figure that we use to recognize as the DEVOPS methodology, as the DEVOPS approach, where we plan for a new version of the software, we develop it, we create it, we verify the correctness, we package it, and then we release it. And this is a continuous and non-ending process that makes sure that we have always the newest version of the software, the newest version of our service. And why we need to do this, and this is the value of the methodology, we need to do this because software is delivered to our customer much faster, more frequently. Magnitude of change is the result of this approach. 208 times more frequent, it's a lot. 100 times faster lead time from commit to deployment, 2,600 times faster to recover from problems, from incidents, and much lower failure rates. So we achieve all these important quality performance metrics. And of course, we all know these companies, and we may not realize that all these major software developers, major software delivery plans are deploying thousands of times per day. They are offering us services with very high reliability, etc. So this is what DevOps methodology is promising. And philosophically speaking, we are moving from the era that we had continuous, in ancient times, we had continuous delivery of water. Then early of 20th century, we had continuous delivery of electricity. Today, we are living the era where we're speaking about continuous delivery of software. And this is an important characteristic of our society and an important characteristic of the way we are working. So this module is an introductory module, it's for beginners. And what is the objective of this module is to allow learners to understand what are the key principles, practices, and the key processes of DevOps approach. And this is something quite important. If we achieve to understand and to develop some knowledge on DevOps methodology, then we'll understand why things are done this way in our society. All major software developers are working this way, and we'll appreciate the benefits of this approach. And closing, I would like to say that this course will have has 3 units. An introductory unit on the fundamental terminology concepts, 1 unit on the capabilities of DevOps methodology, and 1 unit on the tools that are needed in order to build this ecosystem. And this is an important part of the module, because we're talking which tools we can use for version control, which tools we can use for continuous integration, for automation, for monitoring the production environments, and so on. So I think it's a quite interesting unit. So I invite all of you to register and attend these MOOCs that are offered for free by the DEVOPS Committees for Smart Cities project. With this, I close, and I would like to thank you for being here today with us, and to give the speech back to Borut.
Thank you, Professor Fetilis. We are moving to the third speaker. It's Professor Georgianis, I hope I pronounced the name right, who is a full-time professor at the Department of Digital Systems at the University of Thessaly. He's adjunct professor at the Hellenic Open University, and he's also a visiting professor at the French IPEC Business School and American University of Beirut. He holds diploma in computer engineering and a PhD in software engineering. He participates in several R&D and educational projects, and he's the author or co-author of 3 scientific books, over 120 papers published in international journals and conference proceedings, and he's cited in a plethora of citations. Currently, he's a member of several academic and scientific boards in Greece, and today he will present you a module on entrepreneurial thinking. So, Professor, the floor is yours.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It has been a pleasure to participate in this strong team of highly qualified colleagues, which has designed and developed learning material to support the massive online open course of the Smart DevOps project. I have been involved, in particular, together with my colleague and friend, Professor Leonidas Anthopoulos, in the development of educational material in order to support the entrepreneurial thinking course of the MOOC, a course that is scheduled to start on November 2. Please allow me to introduce you briefly to the content of this module. We all understand that innovative entrepreneurship is an expectation from any city in general and from smart cities in particular, since new business entrants and startuppers utilize smart and innovative technologies such as Internet of Things, big data, and cloud computing in order to develop new products and new services. In this regard, skills relative to entrepreneurial and intrapreneurial thinking are useful for all the stakeholders that belong to the ecosystem of a smart city in order for delivering smart services, infrastructure, and data in forms that can enhance the development of new companies and in forms that can facilitate the introduction of new jobs. So, this module will introduce the characteristics of entrepreneurs, of successful entrepreneurs, and will address principles which are the underpinnings of the entrepreneurial spirit and mindset. So, in this module, trainees will be asked to follow the module presentations and, of course, to take corresponding multiple choice assessment tests in order to obtain knowledge and learn essential skills required to launch successful entrepreneurial projects. So, the content of this module is composed of 4 units. The title of these units are shown in this slide. We have Unit 1, Introduction to Entrepreneurship and Intrapreneurship. Intrapreneurship is a term that is related with corporate entrepreneurship, entrepreneurship within the environment of a company, of an organization. Then comes Unit 2. It is about entrepreneurial process and the intrapreneurial process. Then is Unit 3, is about ENTRECOMP. This is the European Entrepreneurship Competence Framework. And finally, we have Unit 4, is about key entrepreneurial attitudes. So, after an introduction to entrepreneurship and intrapreneurship, entrepreneurial thinking, concepts, and common characteristics of successful entrepreneurs, within this module, trainees will learn the stages of the entrepreneurial process, and they are expected to understand some key differences between managerial and entrepreneurial skills. Also, trainees are expected to fully understand the role and the impact of entrepreneurship in the context of a smart city. After that, trainees will be introduced to the basic concepts of entrepreneurship, which are considered as a competence according to the ENTRECOMP framework, that is the European Entrepreneurship Competence Framework. And finally, trainees will be introduced to key entrepreneurial attitudes and characteristics which compose the so-called entrepreneurial mindset. Finally, as far as the learning objectives of this module are concerned, After completing the module, trainee students will be able to recognize the role of entrepreneurship in the context of a smart city, and also to understand the impact of entrepreneurship on smart city developments and vice versa. Also, students are expected to be able to explain the terms of entrepreneurship and intrapreneurship. They are expected also to be able to identify typical characteristics of successful entrepreneurs, to highlight the differences between entrepreneurial and managerial or administrative skills, to describe the stages of the entrepreneurial process and how this process can be systematically followed and applied, to consider entrepreneurship as a transversal competence based on the European framework of ENTRECOMP, to understand the key entrepreneurial attitudes, to learn what are these key attitudes, and as well, students are expected to be able to perform a kind of self-assessment of their entrepreneurial characteristics. So, I'm looking forward to meet online and support as a trainer all students of mine during this module that comes very soon. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you, Professor. Last but not least, Professor Kokinaki, the digital floor is yours.
Thank you so much. I was always aware of the fact that we have an international community, the decentralized international community. But I was happy to see today people from Portugal, Venezuela, Brazil, Nigeria, and Namibia, and possibly many other countries joining us. And that's quite something. So I would like to be brief at this point to let people pose questions. And what I would like to do is give you a brief presentation on what to expect from the MOOC overall. And I will touch 3 points. Mainly, I will give you an overview and an indicative timeline. I will outline how flexible our MOOC is. And I will also give you a sneak preview of what a Smart DevOps MOOC module looks like on the platform. I would like to emphasize, because we had some questions in the chat, that the registration is open and it is free. And what we mean by free means that you get free access to the Moodle, and then you get, if you complete it, the certification also for free. So I believe it is quite an interesting point. I would like also to point out that we tried to bypass this usual issues related to MOOC by centering our MOOC on problem-based learning and group learning when possible. We try to help you out to keep your motivation high. And through the course design, we have introduced elements that facilitate peer-to-peer learning, and of course, summative and formative assessments that lead towards the certification award, as it has been outlined by my colleagues before. So the MOOC has 15 modules. We have some modules that promote skills that are transversal, and we have, as demonstrated earlier by Professor Fitzilis and Professor Gerogiannis, more specialized courses. The mix is interesting to our view and necessary for those who would like or are actually entailed in smart cities in different job profiles. And what we have included in the MOOC are those competencies, those skills that are considered to be necessary, no matter if you are a smart city planner or an IT manager in a smart city or even an officer. The MOOC starts next Monday. However, we are flexible in the sense that if somebody doesn't catch up first week, still has a week to complete it. So every course remains open for 2 weeks. And then halfway through and at the end, we also have introducing this concept of a reflection week. What is a reflection week? It is a period that we don't offer any new courses, but people who perhaps had some problems and didn't give enough time in the completion of one of the modules, now they can actually go back in any of the modules that precedes the reflection week and complete their coursework there. So we try to incorporate all possible support that will make you complete the DEVOPS MOOC. And if you complete it fully, then you will be qualified for more free training. And I know that sounds too good to be true, but this is the concept behind European funded projects, that these projects have been funded through public bursary, so the public that should not pay for the outcome of these projects again. This is a snapshot of what our MOOC looks like. So you have every week the module that will be there, and if you click on one of these windows, you will see the basic outline of the course, very well structured. We have some preliminary key phrases, the learning objectives and the outcomes that one can select. And then we have an interesting mix of presentations and videos. We have separated the material that we provide to you into the teaching material, that is the necessary material one has to follow to be able to complete the assessment tests at the end, but also there might be some material, let's say some video that is nice to watch if you have an extra 10 minutes, and we have included this kind of material under a separate section. At the end of every course, you would be required to go and complete some assessment tests. The tests are multiple choice, and you can actually, if you make a mistake, you will be directed to go and see the particular point in the slides where the concept is explained. So the second time around, because you have 2 chances, you won't make the mistake. So it is a self-improvement session, let's say. I would like to emphasize that the registration is open. So as we speak right now, one can actually go to the website. I believe it is in the chat. And if I find it from here, this is what you're going to be looking at. Okay, so you start with a small description of what Smart Cities MOOC, Smart DevOps MOOC is all about. We have to click yes for GDPR purposes, because we will collect data, some demographic data of yours, as well as learning related data, and these are necessary for us to evaluate how these courses actually reach out to the potential audience. And then you will have, it recognized me. And then you will proceed to go to the next stage and complete some data of yours. The whole process is very straightforward, and it can be done within 5 minutes or less, but if you have any problem, we are here to help you out. So with that, I would like to thank you for your time and your attention. And if we have any other questions, I would be happy to address them.
Thank you, Professor Kokinaki. Thank to all four of our speakers. The floor is now yours. We got some of the questions already, which we will now answer. And please don't be shy. Pose the questions, and let's go. The first one, or I would like to address the first. What are the prerequisites for the MOOC? There are none. There is no DevOps expertise or knowledge prior to the registering for the MOOC needed. What you do need is the will and time to invest into the learning and sufficient level of English, since the MOOC is in English as such. So even me, being a political scientist, I have enlisted in the MOOC. Okay, small disclaimer, I also work on the project, but the DevOps, the Smart Cities thing really interests me, so I'm eligible to join, and I hope you will join me too. But if we go back to the questions, and I think I will need here the help from the professors. Ashraf asked, how will Smart DevOps help to boost Internet of Things based, I will start again. How Smart DevOps will help to boost Internet of Things based digital transformation in connection with 5G, especially for containerization of data, health checks, monitoring, and enabling of services? Maybe Professor Fitsilis?
Thank you very much for asking the question. Actually, the key point here is that this project, DEVOPS for Smart Competence project, is focusing on developing new job profiles for the municipalities. And we have done an extensive market research at the European level to see what are the current level of knowledge of people working in IT departments, but not only in the municipalities, that they want to be smart, and what is the knowledge that they need to have. So we have done a gap analysis. The result of this gap analysis is that we have to address specific topics, and these topics, the most frequently found that were missing, or the most important, were included in our curriculums. In that sense, if we put very specialized courses, people will not be able to attend them. So our approach was to organize a general purpose MOOC course, the course that we're inviting you to follow, in order to build a common background. And then for those people that have followed successfully these MOOC courses, to continue with face-to-face training that again will be for free and will start next year. And there we'll address the more specialized topics and the topics that require more specific background knowledge. However, we knew, for example, that 5G is coming, but this is something that has not been established yet at the European level. So we would like to offer courses that are available today, and we have good probability to be used in the real practice. So the answer is, for the time being, we have not any course available for 5G. We have a course available for the introduction of IoT in smart cities. But this is a course specific needs and of a group of people, not specific people. So I don't know if I'm answering the question, but this is how we see things.
Thank you, Professor. Ashraf, if we did manage to answer your question completely, or you would like to highlight some other parts or have a sub-question, please do write it in the chat. We'll go to the next question from Shyamkant Kulkarni, who is asking how the developers and operators will be able to leverage the existing digital infrastructures dominated by big companies. So yeah, how to leverage this in the existing digital environment. I'll open the floor, won't call out anyone. So anyone that would like to add something or answer to the question of my guests, please do feel called to jump in.
Actually, I can say something on this, and maybe my colleagues can add on this. So the reality is that large companies are already developing solutions, and they are marketing it very aggressive. I know cases that you've given the software for free in certain cases, and they decided to profit from the operation of the software. This is a reality. So what we would like to make sure is that municipality officials know what are these platforms, know what are the functionality offered, and then to be able to decide what is best for their city. So this is what we're trying to achieve. Give them the knowledge to evaluate the offerings of commercial companies, and to be able to decide on what is the appropriate platform for their city, for their strategy, for their citizens. Vasily, you wanted to say something?
Yeah, I agree with you. I would like to say something additional to your arguments regarding the previous question about the 5G. Although I can say that it is not the core of the trainings, 5G. However, the development of 5G network and the vast number of applications which are expected to be offered to use the 5G infrastructure must be supported by practices like end-to-end automation, continuous delivery, continuous deployment, acceptance of operations, automation, and all these practices are key practices of DevOps. So the telecommunication industry have to improve its position in the next few years and to be able to exploit new software which will exploit the full capabilities offered by the world of 5G. So in that case, our project and our MOOC is relevant to technologies which are very much relative with 5G networks.
Thank you very much, Professor. I guess we don't have any more questions, at least not in the chat. But I saw a lot of thank you for the presentations, and I think you were all very clear with what's going on, what will happen in the MOOC, and so on and so forth. So maybe we have 5 minutes left. One last round, one thought, one let's say goodbye message from all of you to today's participants of the webinar, and then we wrap it up. And yeah, let's start with Professor Kokinaki.
Yes, I would like to thank everyone who has participated today, my colleagues, of course, but also the audience. I would like to point out that I hope you have found this presentation interesting and that you have registered for the MOOC, but If you know somebody else who is a colleague or a friend who might be interested, please forward him the details. We will be happy to accommodate people from diverse backgrounds to have a very rich learning community around the Smart DevOps MOOC. Thank you.
Thank you. Professor Georgianis, your final thought?
Yeah, also I'm very happy to participate in this project, and I would like to thank you all for your participation in this webinar. I hope that our talks have attracted your interest, and as I said during my presentation, I'm looking forward to meet online and support you as a trainer and support all students who will enroll and participate in this very interesting, I think, MOOC course. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Dr. Dekolu, please, Dekolu.
I would also like to thank all the stakeholders of the project. I hope that the DevOps community has created something useful, and I really like to encourage all possible participants to join us online for our MOOC program. Thank you.
Thank you. And Professor Fitzilis, as the project coordinator and as the big boss, as I like to say, the last word is yours.
Thank you very much, Borut, for coordinating this panel. I would like, of course, to thank everybody for being here this evening with us. I would like to thank the University of Nicosia for making this happen. And I would like to say that no matter, we all believe in technology. We are IT professionals, so would like to work with systems. But we have to regularly educate ourselves. And for those that are decision makers, they have to invest on people. So, okay, let's buy some hardware, let's buy software, more software, but people have to use it, have to operate it. So let's invest a little bit to people as well. So this is my message. And for the participants to invest throughout their professional and personal life to learning new things. This is a new thing. Give it a try. Thank you very much, everybody.
Thank you. This is a really strong message, and yes, we will make sure that you can have another look at the presentations. They will either be sent by the email, or we also upload them to the DevOps site where you can register. So thank you, dear participants. Thank you, dear speakers. It was a pleasure to moderate this webinar, and we hope to see you on Monday on the platform on MOOC, where we will all learn about how to use DevOps in smart cities. Thank you very much. Take care, stay safe, stay healthy, and see you around.
Let me introduce you to Smart DevOps, an Erasmus Plus project funded by the European Union. Cities around the world are growing smart with a lot of technologies, taking over old ways of moving, working, and living. Smart DevOps accepts the challenge by providing professionals of all ages with the training aimed at managing this transition. The project entails the delivery of a free online vocational training curriculum with 3 different specialization courses. After identification of professional needs, with an eye on best practices and training job positions, the partners have designed a very detailed and engaging course to boost career perspectives for smart cities planners, IT managers, and IT officers. The city of the future lies ahead, so register online for the Smart DevOps training now.